Hi, and welcome to Turnitin.com's Creating Assignments seminar. We're going to start in Turnitin.com. You're going to log in like you normally would. This is going to be slow now because I'm hosting the event as well as trying to log into the account. So you're going to put your email in the first box. You guys will have your first initial last name at somervilleschools.org because that is what most of you are set up on. The English department was set up originally under the old somervillenjk12.org emails. So that's what I have for my teacher account. As I log in here, you'll notice that it has the classes that we set up from the last seminar. I'm going to go into whatever class you want to go into as far as setting up the assignment. You're going to go click on the green Add Assignment, and you're going to select your type of assignment. Most of you will start with the paper assignment. This is just so that they can submit a paper, you can correct it online and hand it back to them. We will cover the others in another seminar. Go to Next Step. And again, very slow because I'm doing lots of things at once. You're going to want some type of assignment title. So mine is going to be Lord of the Flies paper. Point value, whatever you want it to be. You're going to allow only file types that Turnitin.com can check for originality. This is the thing that gets you to understand whether it is plagiarized or what is covered. Start date, whenever you want it to start date. Due dates, you can change to whenever you want the assignment due. And then post date, this is when the students can physically see the remarks that you're putting on the page. So you want it pretty close to the due date if you want to grade and have students see as you're grading. If you want to put the post date later, like the next week, because you want to have all students be able to view their stuff at the same time, that's totally fine too. But make sure you know that the post date is when the students will actually physically be able to see the information on their papers. Go through optional settings at least the first time, because then you can set them for your normal default settings. Any special instructions you certainly can write in there. I've always left it blank. I allow submissions after the due date. You can always change your due date or not allow submissions at all, depending on what your goal is. Originality report, that is the biggest point of Turnitin.com, is to generate that originality report. So yes, you want that. I like it immediately after they submit, because then I can see it immediately. Including or excluding bibliographic materials with similarity index for all papers on the assignment. I don't exclude anything because I want to know where they got the information from and if they're just cutting and pasting. Excluded quoted materials. This might be helpful to exclude if you want to, because I do have some kids with papers that have like 25% plagiarized, but if you look at the originality report, it highlights all of their direct quotes. They have to, of course, have quoted it correctly and the page number and such, but I like to see all of that, so I usually put no. But if you want to avoid having that percentage that might scare them or you can change this to yes. Exclude small matches. Again, I like to see everything, but this will be things like if the students use the title of the book or the work cited, all of them should be similar. So they're going to have 2 or 3% similarity as far as plagiarism is concerned, but it's not really plagiarized stuff. So again, if you can differentiate between what you're looking for, I like to see everything, but you certainly don't have to. I like to have the students see the originality report so they can see, one, how much they've quoted. Those things will be similar, but also so they're aware that these things are happening. Standard paper repository is what you want to have here. Search options. go from student to student as far as checking originality, so you want this checked. Current and archived internet, so anything that they could have cut and pasted off of the internet, including periodicals, journals, and publications. So all three of these things should be checked if you want a thorough investigation into the originality of the actual paper that the student is submitting. The grade mark, you can include rubrics. They have rubrics in here that are already done for you. I have created a few of my own rubrics. So I will teach you how to create your own rubric in another video, but you can select whatever rubric you want. You can launch the rubric form here, which will open up, here I'll show you. It'll open up into an actual rubric form that you can edit. So even some of their pre-made ones are going to be allowed, you'll be allowed to play with some of the scales and criterion. So they have this as the 11th, 12th grade argument rubric, and this goes across all of the claims, the developments, the audience, etc. Everything you're looking for in an argument paper. I have mine that I solidified in 2014, as you can see, which covers the basics of ideas, organization, word choice, convention, etc. And you can see that I've actually put points to this scale. But these rubrics make grading so easy because you can just point and click and everything's done for you. Now, the ETS handbook will help you if you would like the e-rater to grade some of the grammar stuff for you. I have it all show up. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it doesn't hit everything, but at least it gives you kind of an idea of how clean their paper is grammatically with spelling, usage, mechanics, etc. This is what you would click if you would like to save these options as your defaults for future assignments. I can't click it because it is my default, but if I had changed anything, then I could have put this as my default. You submit once you're done with everything, and then that assignment will show up in your class. All right, so we have the assignment now. What do you do to cut and paste it to other classes? You have to go to the class you want to copy to. So currently I am in my 8 and 9 English 2 CP class. I could have separated them by periods. I chose to keep them together. But had I done a period 8 and a period 9, and I would have wanted to copy this assignment without having to redo all of the settings to my next period class. So I have to go back home, click on the class I want to copy to, which I'm just going to throw it in my periods 1 and 2. You need to go to the libraries, which is a tab up here. And then you want to choose the class you're copying from, which should be somewhere in here. I am not seeing it. Well, this is period 1, English 1. Let's go with period 9, To Kill a Mockingbird. Of course, this is where technical difficulties happen. Here we go. Okay, so it's period 5, English 1. These are the 2 essays that I had in there, so I know that that's correct, even though the assignment set is not saying what I'd like it to say. So we'll deal with glitches, but at least I found the assignment. I can click on it, and then I can click import. And so I am importing it, and I can change the due dates and the start dates. I am importing it into my other section. So please remember that you have to go to the section that you want to import into. So I went into my periods 1 and 5 English 1 class. I went to libraries, and then I selected where I'm importing from. And then you can see the assignment in my periods 1 and 5 English class, as well as going back to the other class, it is going to remain in here. So that is how you add an assignment and copy the assignment to other classes. I will tell you more about rubrics, how to grade the assignment in another video. I hope you guys all have a good evening.